What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to... Okay, this is not the 700th episode of The Breakdown, okay? Let's make that fucking clear right now. Not even gets a drink. I'm fucking running around like a maniac. This is not the 700th episode of... Fuck, man. Literally running around like an idiot, bro. Not the 700th episode. It's not. Not the 700th episode. Yes, I look like the president of the United States of America, but I probably look like the European version. Anyway, it's not the 700th episode. This is a special version of... I don't know if I could call it the break... What the hell? I put on... Hold on one second. Hold on, the overlay is not even right. Hold on one second. Okay, look. This is a special episode of The Breakdown. It's not the 700th episode of The Breakdown. It's going to make sense. All this is going to make sense to you. After we're done with this program, it all makes sense. Okay? We got a lot to talk about. We got beef. Okay, we got Trump. Dude, how dare... Somebody in the comments said... You look like the French version of the president. Absolutely not. Don't ever. Listen, I could take the trolling. I could take all that shit. Don't ever align me. Don't ever disrespect me like that. Landy's been backstage. Landy's been screaming to me, "Hi, hot mic, hot mic." And I'm like, I kind of knew because like, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to like, fucking retweet and shit, and like I was writing something and it just fucking disappeared, and I'm like, I said either "oh shit" or "man," and then I look over to the like to see if I'm muted or not, and I see that I'm not muted, and then I see a message, "hot mic," like in caps. In caps. Anyway, welcome. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Okay, hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you did something with your lives. Okay. Hope you actually went outside, got a tan maybe. Because, hey, New York was lit. The weekend was beautiful. It was sunshine. And I was laying out, and you know what? I was obnoxiously tweeting. Okay? I was obnoxiously posting this weekend. I was really obnoxious this weekend. I was chilling, relaxing, having a great time, and I was fucking tweeting away. I was just having fun. And I didn't give a fuck. Honestly, this week I was like, I'm gonna just fucking tweet whatever I fucking want to tweet. I don't give a shit whether one person likes it or fucking a million. I could care less. Just fucking gonna do it. I did it. As I was watching, I gotta tell you, fucking Justin Sun coming out after, or going after World Liberty Finance. I got my I wanted to post this, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna wait for Monday's show. Not the breakdown. It's like it is the breakdown, but it's not the 700 episode of the break. This might go into the classics. When they make the DVD on this show, right? The classics, this might be like the Chappelle show, like what was the Chappelle shit, man? Where like they recorded shit and like they never put it out there publicly, but this is you get where I'm going with this. Anyway, it's Monday. I'm full of energy. A lot of you guys are like, oh man, but that's because you work at IHOP. Anyway. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. I came onto TikTok, so I know what time slots I'm going to do shows on TikTok. It's going to be like 2:30 to 3:30. That's when I'm going to come on. And then I can come on at night and like mad people come in. So like TikTokers they're not interested in shows that start at 12. Though by the way, TikTok, you blow everybody away. Okay, we already know this. But it triples during the afternoon hours. I guess everybody's up. Okay, I guess everybody's up. Anyway, Landy's backstage. Landy is probably going to stay here for 20, 30 minutes because Landy, I seen him I haven't seen him tweet a lot. He's out there tweeting, oh, I can't wait to go on your show. He's out there like just professing his love to random dudes, which is absolutely weird, but it is what it is. He's my friend, so I shall not judge. This show is sponsored by Midnight. Okay, shout out to Midnight, Charles, JJ, the entire team at Midnight. I gotta get somebody from Midnight on here. We'll get that done this week. We'll bring somebody from Midnight, not just Charles. I want to bring on somebody from Midnight. Polymarket. Shout out to Polymarket. Polymarket is the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown and the DG brand, okay? Not the Gakshi Media brand, the DG brand. We'll talk about the Gakshi Media brand. It's almost done. It's all coming together. Cake Wallet. Got to get Vic or Seth on here. Vic or Seth, I'm pulling you on here. We're going to get you on here this month. Talk about one of the most secure wallets out here. Want to protect your Bitcoin? Want to protect your Monero? We'll talk about that. Litecoin, People's Reserve. Shout out to People's Reserve, CJ, that team. They'll be at Bitcoin 2024. Excuse me. What? Ah! 2026. Okay. What? You know what it is? I think 2024 hit me in my head because we were at the event, we were streaming and all that shit. Whatever. 2024. Mine's going. Shout out to People's Reserve. Okay. We're gonna bring them. We're gonna have CJ on here, but CJ's gonna be talking there this month. So, all right. Should we bring Landy on? Fuck it. I'll bring Landy on. Let's fucking shoot the shit here. Landy, Hello and good Monday to you.
Hello. I am very tired, but I am back stateside and yeah, ready to have some fun. Out there, you know, telling people where I'm going to be again. That's weird. Telling people where I'm going to be. I've been busy telling people where I'm not going to be, but now I'm
I've been
telling
getting your
everybody where I'm gonna
notifications
be.
this morning. Just like,
Yes, I know. I've made sure to tag you 12 times in each one.
no, I'm just saying I've been getting your I'm okay. What do you mean I'm not? Are you okay? I am okay.
I don't know. I heard that that you might be about 2 years behind what's going on.
Bro, I can't believe I just said 2024, bro. I might as well put on these glasses and just call myself Biden today. So like, listen. I should do a Biden impression right now. That shit will be funny. Anyway. By the
Look,
way,
you need
just
some mint
before you
chocolate
get
chip ice
started,
cream.
I got a present. I got a drone as a present. So I did that and almost crashed it. Legit.
I'm sorry, I have jokes to make about that that are not appropriate. So I'm gonna avoid all of those jokes right now. Hi
No.
TikTok, I see you.
No, seriously, I it took 3 hours to put together. So I don't know if it takes 15 minutes or it just takes me 3 hours to put something together.
Bro, it's unfold, click in the
No. You had to install all this shit. Nah.
Oh,
Nah.
come on. What did you get? What kind?
I can't tell you. And apparently I got to sign up for the FAA fucking
Oh,
trust
boy.
class. Okay, so I got to do a trust class in order to fly it. Okay.
So
Thanks for the present.
when
Like-
are you joining the Ukrainian army?
No, so I fly it yesterday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I almost crashed this shit. No, 100%. Like this thing. So I thought I click. I think it's forward. It goes right at me. I'm like, oh shit. I'm going to end up coming onto the breakdown Tuesday. See how I did that? And I'm gonna come on to the show today, and I'm gonna just be all fucked up. I'm gonna just have like a fucking black and blue nose broken. Just like anyway, it's fun though. It is absolute 100%. I wish shit. This has been out forever. I wish I would have got one earlier. But okay, cool. This shit, by the way, I bought this shit from TikTok. Let me just tell you something. I don't know how this shit works. Okay, I tried everything. Like I literally tried it. Look at this shit. Hold on. I tried everything possible. Look at this.
Okay. Yeah.
It's vibrating. Like, first of all, it's weird. Did I get the wrong product? Do you hear this?
David Gokhstein's adventures in technology. Between a drone and a TikTok product, gimbal product, he seems to have not been able to figure out how these things work.
Bro, like I put the fucking phone on this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no, you're not gonna follow me now.
Yep.
No. No, this entire fucking weekend, I've been fucking begging you to work. Now, you see this shit in? I got a defective product. Okay? Fuck you and this $40 I spent? I would have rather gone into some shit coin, bro. Anyway. All right. I got that out the way.
Just fly it up as high as you can in your new drone, and then have a little hook release and let it go and see how it smashes up against the ground.
Terrible, bro. Just fucking terrible. It's my luck. I knew it. I knew as soon as this thing was coming, I was like, it's working for this dude who I said, the fat dude that was running around selling this shit. And I bought it because he was huffing and puffing. There's an app you can download to sync. Oh, great. There's an app for this too?
Yeah, there's an app for that.
Download a fucking app for this?
It definitely won't steal any of your data. The app will be perfectly safe.
Yeah,
Definitely
just like
superior.
what was it? The fucking was it Ledger or Treasure?
It was, I wanna say it wasn't Treasure, it was Leisure.
We'll get to that. All right, let's start this show. Julie, I got to talk to you too. Okay, me and you got to talk.
Oh,
It's good.
no.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. That come off like we got to talk. No, nothing
I gotta
bad.
say this to Lutz, that would not be a good one. No, absolutely. Oh god. Can you imagine? That's wrong. I'm reading the chat, sorry.
I noticed this, but I haven't noticed this, but somebody told me that uh, they love the fact that they can read my emotions through my eyebrows. Whatever that fucking means. This
I
is in
had
real
somebody
life.
okay,
People watch this show and I know you guys are taken back, but there are people that don't go onto X and they watch this show and they're like, yo, Dave, every time you get like animated, your eyebrows.
alright, I gotta give you this I gotta tell you this live. Um, so, we were going through some stuff last week where we were talking about what was going on. You had just gotten back on TikTok, and I was also in the chat there, and there was some people that were new coming in, and a few of them followed me. I followed them back, and then one of them immediately jumped into my DMs on TikTok and said that you have super villain eyebrows.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
Yes, that you have, the supervillain arched eyebrows, and they're the perfect size for a, like, Superman type of a villain, and, now I can't
That's just
tell if
fucking hate. That's just fucking hate.
what
That's
why
just
did
fucking
you
haters. Haters are gonna fucking hate. Wow.
I I was like, "Wait a
Super,
minute."
super villain?
Yes,
Are you
yes, like a
fucking
supervillain,
serious?
like a comic book villain. They said basically I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they were like a comic book villain's eyebrows, and I was like, "I don't know. I not quite sure." But when you do the one, just one at a time, you can do one at a time. Yeah. So that's gonna be everywhere pretty soon, by the
Yo,
way.
fuck. I forgot about that.
Oh, Bond villain? Fran says
All right.
Bond villain.
You know
Uh,
why this I'm gonna tell you why this happened. I think I no, but I've been doing this since I was a kid. Like my parents used to tell me like everybody in my family used to tell me like fucking eyebrows. Like I would talk with my eyebrows and shit. So, but for me, it became noticeable when like listen, I don't give a fuck if you guys deny it, but like I was into wrestling when Stone Cold came out. You know, like when Stone Cold. Yeah, I was into wrestling when Hulk Hogan was out there ripping off his shirts
Wait,
and
am I
shit.
older than you? I must be older than you.
Yeah, like
He said, "Yeah." Like, no one actually knows how old the puppet is, so he's just like, "Yeah, probably."
nobody. Listen, they asked me for ID when I have no beard on, so that's all I gotta say.
I do
That's all
not
I gotta
get
say.
carded.
They're like,
I do
hey,
not get
can we see
carded.
your ID? I'm like, whoa, this is offensive.
Oh, yeah,
So
The Rock, yeah, so you
so
can do the
basically,
Rock look, right? Yeah. Yep,
so
right there.
when The
I saw it.
Rock, so like I watch, obviously we all watch wrestling. Okay, I asked my dad like, what? Yo, oh my god, my dad. I remember my dad coming in, seeing me watch wrestling. He's like, you watching this shit? Like he didn't say shit, but basically, and I was like, yeah, like, but like, how come? How come they never get bruised? Like I'm like Hulk Hogan is really hitting this guy hard, and he was like, son, this shit's fake. Shit killed everything for me. But um, listen, somebody got to tell you Santa's not real, right? Somebody just got to.
Wait, what?
Somebody got to tell you Santa Claus is not real.
Hold on.
What?
You're telling me Santa's not real?
No, Santa's not real.
God damn it. I've been lied to this entire time.
I'm just saying, like it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this on air.
Yeah, I'm
But
kinda devastated, that's why I keep muting.
Regardless, right? The Rock comes out and he's doing the people's eyebrow. Right? The Rock comes out, he's doing the people's eyebrow. So I would show up, and this is during the time where I'm playing hockey and shit. I would show up and like I every time I would score or whatever, like I take off my helmet. At the time I had really long hair. I should show a picture of myself with really long hair because I had long hair for a good while. Like I had long
can't
hair up to
picture it.
here. Okay. I had
That's
long,
like
nice long hair, not like the shit that I see out here. I'm talking about hair with fucking the most fucking
no mullet.
sought out berries and oils that you can't find them. Like all in my hair. Okay.
I'm sorry. No, there's no picture like this that exists.
There is. I have
the
long
big
hair,
foot
like,
of Gockstein pictures. No, there's no way.
I have long hair. Listen, I could grow out my hair now if I wanted to, but I'm not doing that. But
It's just gonna go up, right? It doesn't go back.
my hair's so thick, it just like it would take me a year to finally get it to go. Like, never mind. Anyway, so I had long hair and I would do the people's eyebrow. Like whatever. It was during that time I'd be like this. Right? I just pick up the eyebrow. I thought it was dope. But maybe that fucking stuck. Maybe it even made it worse. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
think TikTok's gonna spin up a poly market to bet on whether it was curls or a perm.
no, you know what it is? Like summertime sucks, right? It really does suck. Because like my hair, it gets really wavy or fucking curly. Like it's just like I got the Jufro going at one point. Like the Jufro comes out. Legit.
Bring back the 70s hairstyle.
I
Just get the
could.
fro going.
I could.
Just bring it back. You could taper the sides up too, right into the fro. Oh man, you kidding me?
Nah, maybe I'll grow out one of these. You see these kids out here now? These young. This is what I'm talking about. This younger generation, man. Like you seen these hairstyles, bro?
Well, they're all going for the Theo Von mullet now. Like that's the in thing, is the shave sides to a mullet. It's like
They look like alpacas or some shit.
well, yeah, but it's not quite the 80s like pompadour in front and party in the back. It's
Yeah.
like a longer mullet with the shaved sides. It's kind of he pulls off the 80s style, but most that are trying to emulate him aren't pulling off that 80s style. It's not quite the callback, but that they're definitely heavily influenced by that style because of him. So
Yeah, I just think like they just get up. I guess now men get up out of bed and just walk outside, and that's the hairstyle.
I mean, I can I've been around outside of the US and back into the US so many times in the past little while here that I can attest to this being a very uniquely United States thing.
Yeah, look like morons. So
You're not the only one to say that.
I'm like, what girl are you picking
Heard a
up
lot
with
of
that
that,
hairstyle? Like seriously, what girl are you picking up with that hairstyle?
What is the Wolverine mullet?
You look like a mop.
You look like a mop.
No, not even a mop, because like no, because that would be, but a chopped up mop. You get where I'm going with this, right? Like you
Yeah.
look like a elementary school janitor's mop. Because that's a special type of mop. Anytime I see some shit like that, I'm like, holy shit, janitor mop. That's what they should call it. There you go, janitor mop.
Oh
Anyway.
man. Web3 glossary says rat tail. Bring back the rat tail.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. What are we fucking talking about? What happened? Where's the show going? What did I do today?
I don't know.
This is why it's
it's
not,
a special episode.
this is not the breakdown episode 700. This is not the breakdown episode 700. It's not. Okay. I don't know what the fuck we're calling it. Even though the overlay says the breakdown, I don't know what kind of show this is today. But we are reporting on We're reporting on the
Hairstyles,
markets. We're going to report
drones.
on politics. Okay, we'll go do that. Man, we have so many really cool people lined up to come on the show. Onto the breakdown. We really have some really cool people. I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad that people went ahead and a lot of these people rescheduled for me for next month or later into this month. I'm happy they did that. A lot of these guests are really cool. One or two assholes, but the rest have been really fucking cool. Because, like, honestly, like, I love interviewing people. I really do. I love fucking interviewing people. But I also want to have my time to talk. Do you get where I'm going with this, Landy?
Yeah.
Like, I needed my time to talk because then when you bring a guest on, you know what happens, man. I can't act out like this. Got to be professional.
Yeah,
I got to
sure.
be very professional.
Anytime I'm on any type of a show, it turns into a wholly non-professional show almost
There you
immediately.
go. You
And
understand
then
now.
bans typically ensue at some point from some sort of a platform.
All right. So let's start with this. Justin Sun. Now this made me laugh. Okay, like this, and we'll go into politics and all. Well, let's go around the world. A lot of you guys don't know what the fuck that is. That's a New York City thing. Let's go around the world here. Let's start with Justin Sun, and let's start with World Liberty Finance. I haven't looked into it. Somebody said to me, "Oh, David, since you're such a Trump fan, right? Is Gokhshtein Media going to report on this? Are they going to dive deep into this?" I'm like, well, if they want to, I guess so. My personal opinions don't reflect those of Gokhshtein Media. They just don't. So whatever they want to cover, they cover. It's not me. I'll tell you what the fuck I feel. Anyway, I haven't looked into it really. But Justin Sun comes out. Out of everybody, he's going to go at it with Trump. You know what I thought, Landy, as I'm laying in the grass? I know a lot of you guys have never seen grass or haven't seen grass in the last 5-6 years. It's a nice thing. You go out, sun, vitamin D, not the D that you're thinking about. But Landy, listen, I don't know who's watching, but
teach their own.
What? Did I say something wrong? No,
not yet.
I'm laying down. I'm reading this shit. I see Justin Sun open up his mouth and go after basically not saying their names, but going after World Liberty Finance. But you're going after the Trump family when you say it. Like, you know that 100%. I'm like, motherfucker, didn't you get a pardon from Trump?
I don't know if it was actually a pardon.
Basically, this SEC dropped your goddamn case.
Yeah, it wasn't really a pardon. I mean, the FCC, the SEC, and then I think at one point it was even being looked at
DOJ?
by DOJ.
Yeah.
But it was not, there wasn't really a case there to begin with. So, like, I know that people like, oh, well, you invested in this, so obviously A to B to C, this was dropped because of the connections to Trump. I don't really buy that because the case wasn't very strong. Look, I've never really been a big proponent or fan of Mr. Sun to begin with. And I'm also not necessarily a fan of the team that's been put together for World Liberty Finance, right?
Okay.
In terms of the founding team, because you have the founders and then you have the advocates and the KOLs, essentially, which is the Trump family, which do have financial investment into it, but are not the founders of it. They are not necessarily the primaries listed for the company. And I'm not a big fan of that company, but for everything that people have been throwing at that company for quite a long time now, none of it actually has withstood scrutiny. Because, and I get, the only thing that I do get is Justin's gripe, because they did cut him out, but they gave the reasons for why they cut him out. And honestly,
Are you defending Justin Sun?
No, not really. I'm not a fan of his, but he was doing some shady shit. They cut him out. And realistically, I think that that was likely a business and optics decision because of the way that he was probably going to try to steer things through his buy-in. And if you think that you're just going to buy in and try to do what a lot of these bigger crypto guys do with a lot of these guys that are from the TradFi world, it really doesn't mix well, and it never really has.
Yeah.
Um, you can see that, when there's even deals done with some of the biggest players in the game, like even with Coinbase from the TradFi side of things, those guys on the TradFi side take the reins. They're not letting the crypto guys really take the reins. So I'm not really, and I'd have to brush up on some of these specific allegations. One of the big things that keeps getting shared around is the Peter Ganaris posts.
I seen that one.
Most people don't seem to understand that that's satire, and I don't know how many they take it as if this is real, and it's satire. It's literally a satire account.
That's what
Um,
I thought. I never seen him before, but I didn't think he was. I
oh,
thought
he's
he
been
was
around for a
joking.
while. He's been around for a while, and that's why some of it is so poignant and funny and kind of up its own butt with a lot of what he's saying in these very long posts. But they bait people in, and people think that it's real. And oh my God, see, there's more coming out, and it's like no. If you're new to the internet or new to this kind of a subject, and you're maybe new to some of these accounts, this is satire. What you really got to pay attention to is what is said, and more importantly done, if there is anything on the legal side done between World Liberty Financial and Justin. I looked into some of the blockchain and lending stuff that people were making claims about, and I found them lacking, myself personally. um, I see a lot of inference but not a lot of evidence, and when
Yeah.
looking at it myself, I haven't seen much of the evidence. Look, it's fun to talk about and speculate on. I mean, most act like the Trump family is like this is their company. This is they have essentially done the same thing that the Trump family does with everything. They get into a board position, and they basically allow use of the name. Um, at some point, the private interest in the company and the controlling shares and stuff like that. I'm sure that they're very big players, and I believe from some of the filings that, they're big in terms of their investment into the company and investment into the holdings of the company. But I don't know necessarily. I think, and when looking at the company structure, I'll be honest with you. This is one of the reasons why I'm not invested in World Liberty Financial. I think that they have given themselves multiple outs if anything were to go wrong with said company, which is one
Okay.
of the reasons why I think it's structured the way it is. I've never been, I right from the very beginning, I avoided it. I did trade it. I did buy it to trade it, the coin, and some other things that were going on surrounding the company, but I have not maintained any sort of an investment in it myself personally. And you know me, I'm a Trump supporter.
I want to. Okay, so for me, listen, I'm just watching this unfold, and I see Justin's son jump in, and respectfully, and Justin's been on the show, but I found it comical, and this is not me defending Trump or the organization. It's just like I'm like, here Trump brings in, an SEC and the CFTC that aligns with crypto, right? Like, and I'm sitting back. It's like, and here you have Trump and or I should say the Trump organization involved in this, and you're going after them. Like, I'm just like, and I get it. He put $75 million to be the top guy on the leaderboard. Totally understand. But can I give my opinion? I'd swallow that 75 and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, look, we know very well Justin's history in this industry.
You get where I'm going with this, right?
Yes,
It's
yes,
just like,
and a lot of the uh, issues and accusations surrounding some of the founding members, which are not the Trumps, by the way, or the Trump family. Some of
Yeah.
the founding members of this organization, they have some of their own questionable history. There is not a single founder, quote unquote, that does not have questionable history. I mean, you look at even Brian Armstrong with the backing and funding of BSV, right? Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. He helped to arrange the hash split for the fork, right? With Chinese miners. Like it's one of the reasons why the company is called Coinbase, is because of the Coinbase transaction, which is the payout transaction in the first block. And he was, very, very much a backer of Roger Ver, and went full bore in that direction. And now, that did not pan out the way that when it was very clear that it was not going to pan out the way that they had kind of planned. They essentially became the place to go and buy Bitcoin, right, for Coinbase,
Yeah.
and made a really banked off of that aspect of things. So, and then utilized the Bitcoin narrative, very, very quickly pivoted back to Bitcoin, essentially, when that was, uh, you know, deemed to be unsuccessful. And for anyone that doesn't think it's unsuccessful, just go look at the hash rate for BSV and BCH, and that it's just, it is not. So he's got his own crap, right? You look at
Yeah.
any one of these OGs that went on to become massive names in the industry for blockchain, or or the centralized exchange side of things, or go on to lead major projects. They've all got like massive amounts of skeletons in the closet. I think that the problem with Justin is that there was a lot of accusations already being made in and around the time period of the last bull to bear cycle, and then coming out the other side of the bull cycle, for the way that he was handling things through his network, right?
Yeah.
And that's what was a really big focus coming out of the 2022 bear market into the bull market in 23 and 24, was Justin's transactions and the potential for wash trading, and potentially enabling, you know, um, you know, the Iranian regime and terrorists and money launderers and hackers, all kinds of access. Um, I don't know how much of that is true or not. He's obviously fought back against those narratives, and they eventually went away, right? And then it was about manipulation and manipulating markets and stuff like that. Look, anytime you're throwing around, millions and then billions of dollars, there's always going to be somebody that's going to point to something and claim that it's evidence of wrongdoing, whether that be true or not. And I'm not giving him an out, but when you got to prove it, right? And he's really just in a pissing match with the World Liberty Financial team, and they're in a pissing match back with him. And that's just kind of the where we are in the modern age of social media. Is everybody's private fight has to become public, and then everybody's got to speculate and give their opinion about it. And realistically, I think the only way that we get any kind of actual news out of this is if there is some sort of lawsuits filed.
Yeah. Listen, Justin Sun, like I said, in my head, I would just say, swallow that, dog. Swallow that. Like, do you really want to go? But it's true.
So pause the whole market for that one, Justin. Just check it before you swallow it.
It's true. It's true.
I thought I was muted. I thought I hit mute.
You got to, man. Anyway, welcome to, I don't know. This is not the breakdown. This is just money and politics. That's the show today. Tomorrow will be episode 700. Today, we're just doing a show. That's right. That's right, Landy. Even though you see it on the overlay, it's not. It's just not. It's just not. Anyway.
It's just the breakdown G.
That's right. It's just the G. All right. So Justin's son, and you have Justin's son, which is all right. If somebody else went ahead and did it, then it would be more respectable. And yes, World Liberty Finance. I don't know. I know a lot of people that are bullish on it, and there are a lot of people that are like so on it, and it's. I have no clue. I don't really care. Either way, I don't care. But I just found it funny when I was laying out there. And again, I was just obnoxiously tweeting on the weekend, just being obnoxious about it. Anyway, what else? I might skip some things, but these are more interesting. So Trump has beef with the Pope, right? It's going down. The beef has been there for a year now. Trump posted. I remember when Trump made a post on Truth Social, dressed up like the Pope. Anybody remember that? Do you remember that? Okay.
Yeah, he's making fun of the Pope.
Making fun of the Pope. Okay. Then what happens? He comes out yesterday. First, he disses the Pope. This is like East Coast, West Coast type of beef. This is crazy. And then, but the Pope dissed him too. Like the Pope has become political, right? The Pope has been very political. All right. So Trump does that. Now I'm going to ask you, what did you think about him dropping a picture of himself? First of all, he didn't create that picture. What's his name did? Fuck. The guy's name is Nick. Nick something. Created that picture. He dropped that. Trump's team must have picked that up. And here is Trump posting that over again. The original tweet from this guy, Nick, who's an influencer, was about kind of like Trump healing people, but it wasn't depicted as Jesus. Trump posts it and everybody thinks it's Jesus. Okay. Nobody's thinking he might be like one of the 12 apostles or anything like that. It's just straight up Jesus. And even Trump supporters, I was reading, they were blown away by it. What's your take here? I got my take. What's your take?
People get their panties in a twist over the stupidest shit. That's really what it comes down to. Trump has been a notorious troll online long before he was the president of the United States, and has always latched on to memes and other things that have been going on. And obviously it was fitting because he is, he's not attacking the Pope necessarily. He is definitely being critical and being funny about being critical of the Pope. And look, it's the same thing he does with the Trump 2028 stuff, right? It's the same kind of, I'm going to poke at you because it's fun to watch you get pissed off and spin yourself out of control. And it's like, it doesn't matter what he does. People are going to this is how you know that he's got everyone on pins and needles, hook, line, and sinker. All he's got to do is post literally anything, and it will be twisted in one way or another, whether it's for him, against him, mostly against him. But I think that him and his social media team have a little bit of fun with that. And they've had fun with that for a long time.
I honestly thought it was trolling.
Of course it's trolling.
And I didn't take such obsession. I wasn't so obsessed with, oh my God, look what he did.
Oh
Like
my
this
God,
is
I've
the
watched
internet. Like
fucking
he is the troll king. Like what do you expect? What do you
I've
expect from
watched
Trump?
people just crashing out in group chats and like all kinds of stuff over it. And I find it hilarious because that's the exact reaction that they are trying to get, is watch people just crash out over stupid shit. And look, it's his MO. He's been doing it for a long time. If you are unfamiliar, welcome. Welcome. You must be new here, right? Like this is not. And I get the criticisms that a lot of the ratcheted up tension in social media is because of Trump, and like that's kind of, look, social media desired that to break through, right? Is to be, funny and controversial and and to really, if you're a big personality and a big voice, is to go after others, right? He developed that model on social media,
Yeah.
and he's going to poke at people who want to paint a specific image of him as well. He'll lean into it, he'll lean away from things, he'll criticize, and he'll joke around, he'll be self-deprecating, and I think that because he's the president, because he's a polarizing figure in politics, a lot of people don't look at the self-deprecating side of things. They hang on literally every single word, every single post, every single image. I mean, why don't they continue? Like, remember for years and years and years, it was all about when he would go and repost like a QAnon account on X, or at
Yeah.
the time Twitter, or he would repost information from QAnon accounts on Truth Social after that got rolling. And that was like the big thing, was like, oh my God, he's reposting conspiracy theory stuff. And that was like every single day, every single night. And what did he do? Through doing that, he controlled the media narrative, where even on mainstream media, they're sitting here having full on panel discussions about QAnon. Like, it is the most wild stuff in the world. So all he needs to do is jingle the keys and say, look over here. It's like the blockade stuff, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, he can't blockade. It's a war crime. No, it's not. This is war. And apparently you don't know what the blockade is actually blockading, because it's they're blockading any Iranian tariffed or extorted ships. So there's going to be nothing coming through the Iranian side, and they're actually not blockading allies. And like, people don't seem to understand this stuff. They think that because blockade, well, that means that he's now closing down the entirety of the strait. No, the reason why they're blockading is, one, there's some strategic stuff here, because we see all of the tankers filling up in the Gulf of America now. But then there's the fact of the matter is, they hear the word blockade and they think that, oh my God, now he's the one shutting down the strait. Technically, I've said this, it's been a de facto shutdown since the US military has been in the area. The US Navy specifically has been in that area in the Gulf of Oman. They have been transiting the strait. They just transited the strait again. They're going to go on mine clearing operations. And it's been very unclear as to how many mines, or if there's even mines in the area that has supposedly has mines, or if that is a bit of a, hey, they were able to put down some mines maybe earlier. But we've also seen in those same areas ships that have been verified to have transited through those areas where supposedly the mines are. So either there is mines or there's not mines. They're going to do mine clearing. There's a lot of fog of war stuff. And then the blockade thing came up, and now everybody's talking about these as if they understand war, which they really don't. Go look it up. There's plenty of laws
It's
surrounding this.
pivoted.
Yeah.
Crypto influencers now are into geopolitics. And if you were to ask them where Iran was, no fucking clue.
But they don't even
But
do the basic research, David. Like the basic research about what the laws are and who's doing what. Like, they see blockade and they think, "Oh my God, he's going to this is actually illegal because they're blocking our allies." Apparently, you don't know what they're blockading, and you haven't listened to anything that's been said. You haven't listened to any of the foreign leaders talk about what they're doing in the area, including assisting with the supposed mine clearing operations. Which so far it's just been looks like from some of the reporting and some of the on the ground stuff there, in the various Gulf nations, is it sounds more like they're looking to see if there is anything. There's been nobody's seen any verified mine clearing operations, essentially. Where they've seen the ships go through. They verified that the ships have gone through, meaning the United States Navy, some of the destroyers, and some of the Muse, because the Marines are there as well. But essentially, what we're likely going to see out of this is the same thing that we saw in Venezuela, which is where we will likely see that ships that try to go through the Iranian route are likely going to be stopped by the US military. They're likely going to board those ships utilizing the Marines in the area and the Mute to inspect those ships to make sure that they aren't trying to get around and basically make Iran money. That is what the blockade is. The blockade is against Iran. It's not against the allies that are trying to get stuff through. Now, granted, there's not a lot going on in there's not a lot of transiting of the strait to begin with right now, but a lot more of that has to do with insurance and the
Yeah.
threat of possible mines than anything, and the fact that the U.S. military has basically an umbrella around in terms of the strike groups, in which you cannot enter. You will be viewed as an enemy and you will be shot at. So there's a but most of the people that are in crypto that have now pivoted to doing this stuff, one, they've never talked about politics or war or any of this kind of stuff to begin with prior. Um, uh, they not even like the Ukraine conflict, which is actually a lot of interesting things happening there with Ukraine
Yeah.
and Russia. But they also don't do the basic research to actually dig for the truth. They just regurgitate the crap that's already out there instead of actually have any real discussion about it. And it's the same thing
Listen,
happens in the spaces events too.
I, I'm good with everything
Yeah.
because it is hurting China. Bottom line.
I'm telling you that it's bigger than China. It's bigger than China. It's bigger than
I
Russia.
get it, but like
It's
for
about
me, it's
twisting London's arm.
and that I totally understand, Landy. But like specifically, like to twist China's arm, it's satisfying for me personally
Yeah,
because
I
of
mean,
everything they try to do and everything that they did, not even try to do, but everything that they were doing under the Biden administration while Biden was sleeping.
yeah.
That
Well,
having a president with balls come in finally to
well,
go ahead and say enough is enough at the 11th hour, it's 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 cool to watch. Listen, I'm sure Trump wants to end this. Listen, I think a lot of I'll
I
say it
think
on my end. I'm hoping that this shit ends within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Seriously, whether that happens or not, but I'm just saying in general, I'd like to see it end in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I mean,
And I
what's the
when
upside of ending it? What's
say
the
that
upside?
again.
What's the upside of ending
No,
it?
but I'm saying like me personally, I'll tell you over the weekend when I was again laying out and I was tweeting again obnoxiously. Um, I wanted JD Vance to get something done. I really did. When he went over, knowing that like, listen, the chances of something getting done that that
Very low.
this weekend or last weekend next to none, right? But there I don't know. Reports have come out stating that they do want to come back to the table and negotiate, and it is believed that they are willing to give up their nuclear program. I don't know.
Well,
These are reports that are coming out now.
you got to
So
understand, and we've talked about this kind of right along, right? Because of the way that the government, the IRGC, and the military are structured, is that now, and we're getting reports that there's a bit of a conflict internally there as well. Um, is that they one side doesn't talk to the other in the same way, right? Because they have delegated powers in such a way that you have to have a dominant faction that you're negotiating with that can actually implement the agreed upon measures that you have in those negotiations, right? Like if the United States wants to go in jointly with the Iranians and remove any nuclear material, then they have to guarantee that it's not going to turn into an ambush, right? Because they are fractured within right now. And that's what happens when you take out all of the top leadership, with the exception of the actual Iranian military. Now, there is a difference between the IRGC and the military. So,
yeah,
you notice that they've been mostly intact. I don't believe many of their top leadership has even been targeted, or if they have, they're still alive. And that's purposeful because if the Israelis and the US wanted to take them out, they absolutely could. Um, but there's obviously a strategy to keeping them in place in power in some manner. And I think that the goal of the US is to come out of it with some sort of a Venezuelan deal. But that's not the goal of many of the other nations. They want total and complete regime change with an installed leader by the West. And I don't think that that works. And I think the United States understands that that doesn't work. And that's why they're trying to preserve some sort of infrastructure there so that they can basically pull a Venezuela model, which, as I've noted last week, and you even clipped up, I saw that no one wants to talk about Venezuela anymore because it was such a success and has been such a success and continues to be a success for the United States and for Venezuela and the people, more importantly, of Venezuela. And I think that that is a big concern for this particular administration. And there's a lot of international pieces at play here and a lot of varying interests for what the Gulf states want to see, what the European nations want to see, what Russia and China want to see, and of course what the US wants to do and see. And I think that for anyone that believes that that the United States is not in control, they don't know what they're talking about. Um, the blockade stuff,
Close that door.
to
Let's go right to a commercial break and we'll come right back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back to the breakdown. I'm joined here by Landy, and let me just real quick give a shout out to the People's Reserve as well. People's Reserve was built on a simple idea. You shouldn't have to choose between saving your money and using it. Traditional finance forces that trade-off. People's Reserve changes that. By using Bitcoin as collateral, you can unlock liquidity while keeping your long-term savings intact. It's a smarter way to put your money to work in a sound money system. So shout out to People's Reserve. Again, CJ and then the entire team will be at Bitcoin 2026. Also, shout out to Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand, and also the breakdown. I've gone on to polymarket.com in the last few weeks, and I've really watched it and how it breaks news live, man. It's impressive. It really is. It puts the polls are out of business, man. Polymarket has put polls out of business. All that polling stuff out of business, man. News happens instantly. You get the vibe instantly. So for those who are interested, go to, and it's on everything: sports, politics, go to polymarket.com. Anyway, we're here. Landy, what's going on, man? I didn't mean to cut you off,
Oh,
but
you're good.
I did an Alex Jones to you. Go for it.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, it's just I think that the the more interesting part, I think, that's going to be coming up, especially as we head into midterms and we start to see more news breaking about midterms coming from Polymarket, of course. Um, the narrative, I think, is going to wildly shift as we head into the end of spring into early summer because we have a lot of course, primaries coming up. Big one, obviously, being California. But you mentioned that China is getting hurt by this blockade, especially. You've got, and just the conflict in general with Iran, and so is Russia, which is also seeing their buffer zone get eaten up by Ukraine from what is it, 10 kilometers to over 50 now inland. They can strike so much further inland. It's kind of wild what Ukraine is doing with Russia, and then also hitting their energy infrastructure, their naval vessels, all kinds of stuff is really even making some hardened Russian regime supporters and supporters of the war with Ukraine start to perk up and say, wait a minute, that's not good. Um, the 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 monetary regime change, and the monetary reordering that Scott Bessent was talking about, um, is all part of the geopolitical plan that involves these particular conflicts that the United States has gotten into since the very beginning of the administration and the way that things were architected from before Trump was inaugurated for his second term. And the through line has been to, um, you know, really kneecap China and Russia as the main superpowers that can, in some semblance, challenge the United States, whether it be economically or militarily or both. And right from the very beginning, mentioned this to you before. We've talked about it at length. Immediately returning the United States to becoming the number one producer of oil and liquefied natural gas. Um, really unleashing that side of the economy in terms of energy, and then taking the restrictions off of everything from the energy production side, even to nuclear, right? And then while doing so, going right down to Venezuela and going after the cartels and essentially parking the navy outside of Venezuela and going at it with Maduro and offering ultimatums before ultimately, you know, plucking him out of bed in the middle of the night, right? And then selling the CENTCOM fleet, you know, right out to Iran. And after ongoing negotiations since the middle of 2025 all the way through, Venezuela's wrapped up, going well. No one wants to talk about how well that's going. And then right to one of the largest choke points for China, and other Asian countries, and then Europe when it comes to energy. And now in this entire time, remember, after tariffs, so it was energy first and then tariffs, right as Trump came into office. And one of the things that the tariffs did to China was started to create what's called involution. So it's a race to the bottom for prices, and then of course profits follow, and then layoffs hit, and then and then there's measures that China's been trying to take to really solve this problem, because when you lose even a smaller percentage of your exports to the United States, in this case from China, being their economy survives off of exporting goods, when that's restricted, well, all of a sudden a lot of that product sits at home and they still have to move it. So then they start competing in a race to the bottom for pricing, and that causes involution. And then you add to that now they have to burn through their reserves of oil and liquefied natural gas. Right now, everybody points to, well, they produce so much energy, and it's clean energy and green energy, and they're the number one producer of solar. I know they look at even Elon's tweets they'll cite, and then they forget to mention that part where China consumes about 20 to 30% more energy than they produce, which is why they
Yeah.
have to import from why they had to import from places like Venezuela, places like,
Well,
you know,
the beautiful part is now you have a lot of tankers coming in to our stomping grounds to fill
yep,
up. So that's good. That's good for the economy. That's good for
exponential increase in
one
exports.
100%. Look, whatever you want to say about Trump, I'm going to end this. Whatever you want to say about Trump, I really do believe the administration has a plan. It might
been
look chaotic, but through the chaos, there's a plan. I believe that.
Anyone
I
who
believe
thinks
that.
it's chaos wants to believe it's chaos for their narrative, and that's the only
Correct.
reason why.
I think Trump does a lot of things purposely, especially what I talked about this. What we talked about this on Friday. I said that he uses his social media account as a way, as a weapon. He uses that as a weapon, 100%. He
Mhm.
uses that account as a weapon. Anything he puts out there, the media or anybody who hates him, dislikes him, will run towards that, and they will start talking about that very subject. And look, everybody yesterday is talking about. They're not talking about Iran. They're talking about what he like the picture that he posted.
Blasphemy. It's
Oh my
blasphemy,
God.
David. Oh my God. It's blasphemy.
And Christ is king and everything. Oh, bro, like y'all went overboard with this.
Did they forget
You
that
absolutely went overboard with this. You first of all, I don't think if you know where the original picture came from, he did not depict himself. That picture was not depicting him as Jesus Christ. Okay.
no,
He took it and he reposted it. Yeah, did they change it up a little bit from the previous? Yeah, but not him. It was just the background that they changed up a little bit. It wasn't him per se from the original picture. He had you guys on social media. A lot of you guys didn't even go to sleep. You were so bent out of shape over this. It was wild to watch. Anyway, just to break it down real quick. Also, again, JD Vance on JD Vance's thing that I wanted to touch on quickly. I do want to see JD Vance close the deal. That doesn't mean that Trump won't get credit or anything, but I want to see JD Vance actually close it. He needs to close it. It is vital for him to end this war with Iran, or have Iran, give a, just say no mas, uncle, we're done. We'll give you everything that you want. And
We're-
they
we're in
talked
the
about
second
the
week.
guy negotiating is
Yeah.
potentially a guy that they would want to deal with. Because
Taliban? No. They
I don't
wanna
know. The stories that have come out have stated that he was very professional during the meeting.
Of course.
And this is somebody that they could see themselves working with. I don't know. Like, again,
He's a politician.
exactly. This was put out there. I'm just saying this is what was reported out there. Take it for what it is. For me, I can see the position is the United States is not leaving, or they're not stopping until Iran gives over. And then they also say that they're done attempting to create a nuclear weapon. And we know with this regime, they might say that, but they'll go ahead and hide in another fucking cave, and they'll continue to build. So,
yeah,
really hard position right now. It really is a position where, like, they are trying to negotiate in good faith, but I think ultimately Trump is going to go back there, and Israel is waiting. Israel with Bibi coming out, and he's talking about, listen, we're ready when the ceasefire it doesn't work out. This dude is ready, man. Like, even if you want to negotiate, I want to say something, but you know what? I'll say it. I will replay this show and then tell you this is what I had in mind to talk about, but I won't say it now. Do you
somebody.
get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I got to bring something up though that I think is really really important that has flown under the radar. So last year, the United States was dealing with the EU in terms of trade, right? Energy and trade policies. From the summer, right? You had basically July into August. You had a framework
By the way,
agreement.
breaking news real quickly. Just breaking
Mhm.
news. For all the Trump haters, for all the Trump haters, Trump came out and he said, it's funny that we're speaking about this topic right now. He said the following. I'm holding my hand up like that movie, the Kingdom to Heaven.
I've been in too
Hold on.
many meetings. The hand raise is like waiting to get a question in for this freaking virtual meeting that we're all having.
Oh my God, hold on. Landy, I just had it. Hold on.
While you're getting that breaking news, I want to talk about some news that has gone under the radar that is stupidly important. And one of the reasons that you're seeing so many tankers come through, it's got a lot to do with what's on in the Middle East, but also it has a lot to do with what was just finalized on March 26th that no one talked about. And that was that there was an investment deal and an energy deal between the United States with the EU nations. And this was, the European Union intending to buy U.S. Liquefied natural gas, oil, and nuclear energy products from the U.S. With a valuation of around $750 billion through 2028. It also required 600 billion and then another 500 billion in terms of investment commitment into the United States, provided that the United States maintain a tariff structure cap of 15% on your EU goods, and that the EU would eliminate tariffs on most US industry goods and provide for preferred or preferential US access to agriculture and seafood, and that the EU would be doing military equipment purchases from the US. On March 26th, the European Parliament voted to advance the tariff related legislation and the energy and investment related legislation that were part of that 2025 deal that was put together during the summer of 2025. So this has gone under the radar, but this is now we're seeing things kind of come to fruition without the this is really just this is a concession from the EU finally, and they just happened to get this done while you saw that most of their when the most maximum pressure is being applied to their economies through the energy side of things, and now they want to do the deal, whereas they were holding it up the entire time, and now they've advanced it, and this is going to be slated and was slated for um, the further advancement was April 10th. So now things are actually starting to go through and deals are actually being done and all the contracts are being signed, and we're already seeing some of that stuff when it comes to EU nations. Many of the ships that are entering the Gulf of America are um, EU nations tankers or operating for those EU nations or under contract for EU nations to deliver oil and liquefied natural gas. So this is massive. And this isn't going to change once the strait opens, but what is happening with the strait, and now there is European nations that want to go and according to them are going to assist in quote unquote demining the strait in the region that was supposedly mined, while the U.S. Allows for transit of friendly nations and will be blockading any unfriendly nations transit, i.e., Iranian, Russian and Chinese vessels that are trying to get through.
Here's here's what I wanted to go ahead and touch on here. President Trump addressing addressing a reporter's question about the picture from yesterday.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, "How did they come up with that?" It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make
Yep.
He's so honestly, he's so good. He's no Diddy. He's so good though.
Teflon Don.
He you know what it is? As a New Yorker, like you okay, as somebody who I grew up in that area, right? Watching Trump do these things, it's not shocking. The way Trump speaks and everything, like it doesn't shock me. Oh my God, did you hear what he said? No, that's regular New York City talk. And especially
Dr. Trump is trending hard right
is
now.
it? This probably gonna
Red
be a
Cross
meme.
and Dr. Trump are
There's probably
trending
gonna be a meme.
hard.
Dr. Trump. I guarantee you there's a meme Dr. Trump coming out. Red Cross
Yeah.
is probably gonna get more donations. Listen, you know what it is? I think our society, I think Americans have just Americans are in shock because we haven't had a leader in fucking God knows how long. 4 years of Biden has felt like fucking 3 decades. That's the problem. I think most Americans haven't felt leadership in a very long time. That's it. That's bottom line. You know what? I'll say this. Trump is sacrificing, and I'm going to end this and because I want to touch on a lot more stuff here. And I just seen that it's 1:43. Holy shit. Man, what a
Time
fucking
flies.
show today. We got haters stopping by. I just saw this.
Yep.
We got haters stopping by. Even on TikTok now, they heard. I said I'm gonna put their ebooks to shame, and they got mad. I think the message has been sent.
Oh man, the Dr. Trump.
I
memes
want
are
to say
going
more. I want to
wild.
say, you know what it is? I want to say more, but I don't want to say it because then it gives them power. I'll tell you. Hold on, guys. You're not gonna hear what I'm gonna say to Landy. Here, Landy, I'm gonna write to you.
All right. Oh man, the Dr. Trump memes are they're already wilding out. Dr. Trump
Watch.
and DoorDash.
Oh yeah, the DoorDash thing.
Yeah, this is so
Did you see that
good.
he asked if he's a good tipper. Is the White House a good tipper? And she was like, she didn't come up with an answer yet. He gave her $100. He goes, "Oh yeah, absolutely, great tipper."
It's so good. Oh my God. The Dr. Trump stuff. Most people forget that when Leo.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat real quick. Not that. Look at that chat.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw. Yeah, yeah, I was looking into that as well. In the background here, I didn't say anything, but I was also looking into that.
Like I said, I didn't say shit because I understood. I got it. But you can see my face during that time. If you replay the show, you can see my face. Like
Yes.
I want to, but I'm like, David, be a good boy now.
Yep. I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
That's why I'm saying I said on Friday, I'm coming for people's ebooks. And this was on a live TikTok. This wasn't on Twitter or anything. I said, I am going to absolutely dominate TikTok.
Yep.
All of a sudden, your favorite shows, right? Like it doesn't
Yep.
make sense, right? Who's in this chat?
Yep.
That's
No, I get it.
listen, let me just say this before we move on. I've been through everything. I've been literally through everything, TikTokers. I've been through everything. Every single thing possible. Let me tell you something. If you can make it on, this is a New York thing. If you can make it on X, you can make it on any social media platform. Bottom line. You can make it on X, you can make it anywhere. That's the New York thing. Anyway, yeah, I found that funny. I found that hilarious. I just sat back and I just watched. I was like, okay. Listen, words are cheap. It's like, I'll just show you. Anyway, welcome to, I can't even say the breakdown. This is Money in Politics. We're going around the world. So we talked about Justin Sun going at it with World Liberty Finance. We'll see what happens there. World Liberty Finance. I'll say this. I didn't think it was, I think they need a new PR staff, or they need to look up comms, who's doing comms, and say like, okay, we need to get better at this, because the reply was a personal reply. That's not a company reply. That's a personal reply. So when I seen the reply, I was like, we'll see you on court, pal. I was like, oh my, number one, did it become a meme? Because like that I think people were like, that's memeable. That's not professional. Like if you want to, get at Justin and you want to break it down, that's fine. But like I would have said they shouldn't have replied. And if they were replying, then you need somebody that knows how to go ahead and professionally reply. That was somebody on that website, which apparently I haven't looked, but apparently it's been taken down. I don't know if that's true or not. So
I haven't got
either the case, I think it was unprofessional. The reply was unprofessional. And Justin, he's not typing. That's not him writing. Justin's been on my show. And I'm going to tell Justin the next time he comes on my show, like, Justin, that's not you typing. That's fucking, you went to ChatGPT on that one,
man.
bro.
That's an
That was
EA.
all ChatGPT.
Well,
I've never
EA
heard you
using
put a sentence
ChatGPT.
together like that in my life. And you've been on my show 3 times. I'm just saying. Listen,
Yeah,
there are some people that are better at writing than they are at speaking publicly. That's true. But Justin, you did not graduate from MIT. You didn't major in writing. Like let's put it that way. That wasn't your major. And it's okay. It's okay. That's all I got to say. I don't, again, I'll say on that point on World Liberty Finance, I think the reply, I think it would have been better with no reply. No reply. And you know what they should focus on? Since there are a lot of questions about World Liberty Finance, they should be focused on the people that have put money into World Liberty Finance and explaining it to them. Make the people, this is the big, and this goes for any protocol within the crypto space. Break it down, make it known to the people that have supported your project exactly what the fuck is happening. That's it. That's it. Even when there's something wrong with the project, let people know. Come out, have a real PR department come out and break it down. Or a well-spoken developer comes out and addresses the issue. That's it. It's plain and simple. You see how Polkadot addressed their issue? With with the shit that happened with the $1.1 billion minted, where the guy, there wasn't any liquidity for them to take the $1.1 billion, so they had to settle for what, $273,000?
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, they came out and addressed it.
Yeah.
They addressed it. Me as an individual, if I put money into something, just address it. And I'm fine with it. That's the problem in crypto, the industry itself. Maybe it's an X thing though. Maybe it's just an X thing. Or maybe it is a crypto thing in general. Not from the adults. I think from the people that, I don't know, motherfuckers that just like likes and clicks and retweets and engagement. But just come out with a message saying like this, that, and a third. That's it. And just be honest about it. And I guarantee you people will support your project even more. That's it. Like there's nothing to it. People are waiting for answers apparently from World Liberty Finance. Come out and break it down for the people. Hold an event. Go on Spaces. Make a video. Break it all down. Whatever FUD is out there, break it down for the people.
I mean,
When I seen people side, here's the biggest thing. When I seen people side with Justin Sun, again, I'm not bashing Justin. I've known Justin forever. All I'm saying is when I seen people side with Justin, and it wasn't from a political standpoint, by the way, because I kind of got rid of the political people out of the way, and I looked at like who's actually invested into this project, right? You have people slowly kind of like side with Justin. Like what is happening? So my thing is like as a because you are a company, as a company, come out and just explain it. Maybe they'll explain it at the meme conference. Why do I keep laughing when I say the meme con? Maybe they'll explain it at the end of the month at the meme conference.
As I
what
said
exactly is
before,
happening.
I have no vested interest in World Liberty Financial. I'm not, I traded it for a little while. I've obviously traded Tron. I don't really have any stake in Tron or any of Justin's products either. One of the big things I think that, there's more important things I think that have come out and are being talked about, like what the SEC just laid out in terms of, DeFi front ends and DeFi in general, like, that they can operate without broker dealer registrations as long as there's, no custody of user funds and, no order routing or execution. And there's a neutral fee structure and there's no discretion over the transactions or market activity. And then, as long as there's no advice or recommendations, right? Investment advice, right? Then they can operate without needing that broker dealer registration. And I think that's way bigger than the stupid stuff that people are chirping about. The only reason that it's even being talked about is because it involves the Trump name and it involves Justin's name. So obviously very big personalities, very relevant to the crypto space. But in reality, no one's actually going and looking at what the claims are and really investigating it to any degree. And this really does just seem like a bit of a personal feud, maybe even a
Can I be honest here? Which
Yeah.
I always am. I hate using the word honest, but can I be frank here, Landy?
sure.
At some point, we're gonna have to look. Look, are there scammers in this space? 100%.
Yeah.
But there are scammers in every industry.
Yep.
Like any industry you look into, any niche you look into, there are bad apples, bad seeds in there, and they're set on doing bad things, and that you can never control it. That's it. If somebody wants to do something bad, they're gonna do it, right? Bottom line. Do we have some bad seeds in crypto? Yeah, 5% to maybe 10% of the people in crypto have bad intentions. Okay, that you can't do nothing about it. I would say less than that, honestly. But they have bad intentions. Okay. The rest of the people out here are trying to build out. With Web3 or crypto, I hate using the word Web3, but people love Web3, so fuck it. Web3, crypto, people are building out front facing, like right in the open. They can't hide. They're building out right in front of you. And then you have people, because this industry is still so young, people that are hiding behind fucking aliases and PFPs that are judging you every 5 minutes. Why hasn't this happened? Why? And then the scammer. You're a scammer because this didn't. Oh, you were supposed to release this on the 16th and then go out. You're a scammer. So the word scammers thrown out on everybody. It's like if you listen to X, you're thinking that everybody building is a fucking scammer in crypto. So it kind of, the word's diluted. It holds no weight. And it's sad because now you don't know who's who now, right? In a sense, you sit back, you don't know who's who because everybody's being called a fucking scammer after fucking 3 days of fucking building. Well, projects are going to fail. World Liberty Finance has a chance of failing. There are a lot of projects here that are going to fail. Some of my favorite projects are going to fail. I'm in projects right now that I think are phenomenal and led by phenomenal teams. Guess what, Landy? I think they might fail. But I knew that going in. But I know they're going to fail trying to give it 100%. And they're going to do things that I might not like. I might not like what they're fucking doing, but you know what? It's their show. It's their business. They're running it as they see fit. It's like me telling Tim Cook, I've used this analogy a lot. It's like me telling Tim Cook what the fuck to do at Apple.
Well, I mean, a
It's-
lot of people online do that.
They do it, right? You have a lot of people that have never ran a business in their life telling Tim Cook and Apple how they should go and conduct business. You have a lot of people telling Tesla and Elon online how he should be running Tesla. You're telling a future trillionaire, the first trillionaire, about to become a trillionaire, especially after the IPO, you're telling him how to operate a business. Like at some point, the adults in the room have to sit back and say, what are we fucking doing? Like I can understand the criticism, critical feedback, and all. I get that. You're allowed freedom of speech. You're allowed to do whatever you want. But like when half of these people have never ran a business. You've worked for one, but you've never ran one. Please do me a favor. Adjust your seat accordingly and sit the fuck back. Just sit back for a second. And these crypto projects, they're going to take time to evolve. They are going to take absolute time to evolve.
I think
Ethereum's still building out. Like they still got the roadmap. They're not finished with it. Like you have things that are still building out. XRP, like I know a lot of people don't like XRP, but you know what? Like I said before, XRP, Ripple in general, is focused on the banking system. That's it. They saw a problem with the banks. They attacked it. I don't like the banks, so I can care less what they do with the banking system. But at the end of the day, Ripple has a solution. Banks have taken to it. I hope it works. Maybe one day they align with Chainlink, like really partner up with Chainlink, and Chainlink and Ripple really do some incredible shit. But this is going to take time. Like this is going to take time. It might take 3, 4, 5, 7 years. Like
There's
how long have we
legitimate
been in this
criticism
industry,
about
Landy? How long have we been in this industry?
well, I've been here for a long time.
Correct.
And but there's
You have probably 2 years on me. Whatever. We've been here for a really fucking long time. Only now have we seen adoption start happening, right?
yeah, I look, but
I'm talking about officially.
yes, yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
from
talking about the
traditional
unofficial shit.
markets, from traditional markets, yeah. And there's legitimate criticism to be had of every single blockchain and every single participant and every single project. There's always legitimate criticism. The problem that crypto has is there is only just now a framework being formed for how the industry should operate to integrate further into the traditional systems, traditional finance, right? And it's only coming from the SEC now, finally, and the CFTC. And when you are only just now getting clarification on the guidelines of which should be followed, you have a breeding ground for those that want to come in and make quick money and leave. And there is it's very clear who is here to make quick money. There are some that play the long game.
So
But
let me ask you this question. You think let's break down World Liberty Finance. You think Trump's organization will put their name on something? Take away your Trump hate. And this is for anybody watching from wherever you're watching from. Put away your Trump hate. Because a lot of you just dislike the Trumps. Like, there's nothing that the Trumps can do to win you over. And that's fine. That it is what it is. Some people don't like me, and that's fine. I don't like you. I might dislike you for some reason. I don't know. It is the world. I usually don't right away dislike anybody. You bury yourself. Bottom line with me. But you think Trump will put his name on something or allow his name to be put on something which would be deemed rugging the industry? Because I don't think he would.
No, I don't think
I'm
that
not defending him.
anytime
I'm
you
not
have
defending them either. I'm just saying, like, I don't think
any
Trump. I don't think he doesn't need to do that.
no, I don't think so either. But look, anytime you have a massive brand presence just via the name and licensing the name, um, I don't believe that the goal is to get in and get out quickly, um, and essentially commit any sort of fraud or crime in order to do so. There's no need. Like, there's just no need. You can make money a million other ways. Um, than doing that, right? But I have
Is
not
he
been a
going to
fan.
make? Here's the
Okay,
question. I think crypto is in for a rude awakening because I think crypto has this fucked up perception where you can build, but if you're a builder, you can't take profit.
yeah,
So basically, I'm building a
I don't think
business
that's
for
the issue.
you where only you can make money, but the developer of the business can't. I've seen this with everybody. I've
But
seen
look,
this with Charles being accused of bullshit. Like
well,
I've
yeah, he
seen,
gets accused of a lot of stuff. Yeah,
yeah, like I've seen
years.
this with a lot. Like if Satoshi Nakamoto was here and active, they'd be accusing him of rugging.
Oh, of
Do
course.
you understand how bad it is?
Yeah, there would be a lot of conversation about which side wallets, who is he doing deals with, which exchanges is he involved with. Yeah, there'd be all kinds of speculation.
But I
Okay,
am
let
not.
me
I'm
be
not.
very
I'm
clear
not.
though, David.
I'm not saying that
The
nothing's happening with World
the
Liberty
Trump,
Finance. I
but the
haven't.
Trump family, David, the Trump family, I believe, was courted by the wrong people in crypto and
And
has
that's
chosen
fair.
to partner with the wrong people in crypto. And that is because I don't think, and they're just learning the industry, and we're, coming in to the industry fairly late in terms of being major players that are entering the industry. Of course, they kicked off a lot of what we're seeing now in terms of bigger players looking for ways in, but I am not a fan of the people that got into their circle and that they have chosen to partner with. And I don't believe that any major brand, when you look at the Trump name, it's a brand, right? So I don't think that any major brand is getting into crypto because they want to get in and get out. They want to get in, of course, make money, but they want to have longer term success. You're getting in early, all of that kind of stuff, right? And in this case, I have not been a fan from the very beginning of the people who have wormed their way into that circle. The only thing that I've actually been a fan of is the courting of American mining and some of the other mining organizations, because these are legit businesses with people who have good reputations within the industry itself. So they do have people around them that have good reputations and have been good for this industry at various levels, whether it be building, mining, infrastructure, DeFi, and stuff like that. But for some of the major players that they have, kind of the headliners that they have gotten into bed with in this industry, which, it's kind of like everywhere you look, there you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I am especially not a fan of those people, just like I was not a fan of Sachs in the position that he was. So realistically, it stems from that circle, from the Sachs circle on out, with some of these other players. I have not been a fan of the people that have wormed their way into even the crypto council. I just don't like it. These are not the players that we know this industry, and we know a lot of these people, and these are not the people that I wanted to see in those positions that are either in World Liberty Financial or with the meme tokens or with some of the crypto council or some of the crypto czar stuff when it came to Sachs, which I'm glad that he's moved on to other things that I think he's more suited for. I've not been a fan of those decisions. And, and I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a Trump supporter. I support the president. I'm very familiar with his initiatives and his policies. I think that the best decisions that he's made are his picks for the SEC and the CFTC when it comes to these particular issues. And those are the main things that I like to harp on and focus on because they're the only ones that are actually pushing this industry forward. Is coming out of the SEC and CFTC. And even the people that he's been working with in Congress, I think, have been feckless. They've been destructive. They've been actively working with people against the industry and proponing and actually helping them inject things into legislation that they shouldn't be helping them inject into legislation. And these are people that are straight off the crypto council. So it's like, this is the team that has wormed their way in. And if you understand Washington politics, by the way, for anybody out there, you understand how easy it is to worm your way in when you are a quote unquote subject matter expert in these areas. So you can really grift your way into most circles, whether it be on the legislative side through the congressional representatives, whether it be through some of these super PAC organizations, right? So because money is the buy-in in Washington, D.C. And it doesn't matter who you are, or how much snake oil you've sold in your career. If you've got enough money to buy in, you can get representatives that will go and represent you and your interests there before you actually step onto the scene. And that's what they've been doing throughout the campaign into the administration from the crypto side of things. They saw the opportunity for a crypto friendly president and they took full advantage of it. And I think courted and steered the ship in the wrong direction. I think reassigning Sachs was the biggest indicator that this is not going the way that Trump envisioned it would go. And it's not going the way he wanted it to go. And this even extends to Lutnick and Cantor Fitzgerald. I'm not a fan of some of the, and I like the job that he's doing with the economy.
I want to say this. I think Lutnick, I would have liked to see him step down.
The
that might
problem
be
is
not the popular opinion, but
I don't like what he's been doing in the crypto side of things. But
it's
from
not
the
it's not even
economic
that.
side of things, that's what's buffering him right now because he's got the buffer because he's so good on the economy and he's so good at working with Bessent and he's so good at working with the SEC and the CFTC that he's become this invaluable entrenched force that I think that when you got rid of Sachs, I think Lutnick should have went as well. But Lutnick isn't on that side of the house, right? He's on the US economy side of the house. So it becomes very, very difficult to get rid of that guy because he's so good at what he's doing on the economy side of things and so good at doing those deals, specifically the business side for the United States and implementation of that agenda, that it takes, obviously load off the treasury and load off of the other participants in the economic team and he's got such a diverse skill set that it's very tough to get an entrenched guy like that. And he reminds, and just as well as I do, he reminds me of the slick back New Yorker that's going to come in and he's once he's in, he's too good at certain things that you take the good because the good outweighs the bad.
For real.
And I don't like it, but also you could see that Trump has made the adjustment and Sachs was the biggest canary in the coal mine to that adjustment. But you can see that the best things that have come out of this are from the SEC and the CFTC. And those are appointments I think that were very important for him.
I'll say the SEC and the CFTC, phenomenal. And I think they need to continue with the departments, though. I don't think it can't stop there. I know that Bessent is running the IRS and all that stuff. But
well, not the IRS, but the Treasury. IRS should be. We don't need an IRS.
What I'm saying
That's just me.
is overseeing things temporarily.
Yeah, well,
whatever the position
he's
is.
interfacing with the IRS very heavily when it comes to these things. But we haven't gotten anything substantive in terms of changes from the IRS. Especially
but my thing is like, why
side.
does everybody think like this is going to happen overnight? Like Trump is out here saying he wants to eliminate the IRS, literally eliminate the IRS.
He's alluded to at some point. I don't think it's going to happen under his term.
Of course not. Like, but
So eliminate
it's there,
federal
right?
income tax.
here's a concept. You imagine if everybody worked together. Like, imagine if it wasn't a Democratic Republican thing.
Never happened in history.
But think about this. Imagine if everyone, like Democrats and Republicans, independents, came together and said, you know what? This does benefit the American people. We should eliminate it.
No, because
No, no, but
because
no, I'm saying
that's
in
never
a
what
Disneyland world.
utopia would this ever be in? In a
Exactly.
Disneyland world, they'd all be I'm gonna stop myself. I'm gonna end up putting
Exactly.
you banned on
That's
TikTok.
so.
Sorry.
So what I'm saying is, you imagine if they all work together, then it wouldn't be a dream of that happening. It would happen.
But then you
But
wouldn't have any dreams left. We'd
correct.
all
So
be lost.
they're not aligned. None of them are, but here's Trump saying, like, if you sit back for a second as an American, right? Democrat, again, independent, Republican, Green Party, whatever party. If you sit back for a second, if you're an American, I think you would agree with a lot of this stuff. I think you would rather pay a national sales tax over paying, well, you don't know what the fuck you're paying. You're guessing. Right? Like, there's a whole game of guessing sucks. Luxury tax along with a national sales tax, and obviously the government, like people that make under $150,000, they're not federally taxed. These are good things because that means that if somebody's making $150,000 a year and they're not being taxed, they go and spend more money, which boosts the economy. Okay,
Yep.
that boosts the economy. Now we're thriving. Now we're absolutely thriving. We know where the money's going.
Well,
It's thriving.
you have, but that's because
Nobody's guessing. Like,
I
nobody's
can,
guessing about things. Obviously, it's complex because then people are like, okay, so what are small businesses? I get it. Like, come up with something. We have smart people. Come up with
well,
something.
there's
Both
personal
parties
income
pass it. Make
tax.
America really good.
Personal income taxes need to be eventually eliminated, in my personal opinion, because you will make it up on the other side through the boom in business and you collect taxes that way. But we can see exactly what taxing the ever-loving hell out of your population does. All you got to do is look at California and see that it is losing it's losing the
Do you
mass
know an
majority of
NBA
its
player,
taxpayers.
a WNBA player signed a contract yesterday? She's going to play in California. She signed a contract. She could have got a contract for $1.1 million. She signed it for $999,999
Yes.
to avoid you're a millionaire or
You,
billionaire or the
you,
wealth
you
tax.
know that they'll still try to go after her
At some
for that
point,
dollar.
it doesn't make sense anymore.
They'll say that she made the dollar somewhere else through an endorsement deal, and then they'll tax her anyway. So look, this is California is a failed state in this regard, and that's one of the reasons why you have a lot of things that are happening in California. Like, obviously, we didn't talk about the Swalwell stuff. Anybody that thought that Swalwell was actually not going to get thrown under the bus, you haven't been paying attention to California. We've known about here in California. We've known about the scandal with all of that stuff for years. It was before Fang Fang with Swalwell. We knew about this in California. Nationwide, you're just figuring this stuff out about the guy. They were waiting to bury him under that at some point anyway, because they need to shrink the field, obviously, after the endorsement of Hilton from Trump. And Hilton, he's the front runner right now on the Republican ticket. I like Bianco, but he's not going to win the state. Hilton's got a far better chance, and he's far more organized. I can tell you that from personal interactions. But the 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 problem is that just about everybody knows that Democrats don't do what they say, and Republicans don't do what they say. And part of the reason why is because from the federal level, once they get to Washington, they are completely consumed by the special interests that are there. And this completely changes how they do negotiations to get legislation passed. Because and they can go in with the purest of intents, But once you get on the ground in DC, you have to understand it's a different animal there. It
Yeah.
is you get there and you might have the best intentions. And I gotta say, shout out to John Fetterman because he thumbs his nose at all of them, which is wild. And I don't even agree with him on half of his policy, but it's wild to watch him, stand up for what he believes in. And I think that's great. I
Yeah.
support the guy, even though I don't support a lot of his policy proposals and what he actually is aligned with in that regard. I support him because, dude, you're actually doing your own thing. I don't know how you're doing this under the immense because the immense pressure is if you want to get anything done, you're up against people who have already beholden to special interests, and in order to advance what you want to get through, you have to negotiate with them, which means that in order to gain any kind of power, you've got to align with a group that is supported via special interests. And
Yeah.
it's just a corrupt system that begets a deeper corruption in the system. And therefore, nothing ever gets done that is in the interests of the American people. And one of the reasons why Trump has had to do so many damn executive orders is because, and we're likely not going to see a lot of it codified by Congress because Congress, if they codify it, would lock it in for the long term and it would be against their special interest groups that they are there trying to get whatever they might have pieces of what they went in with for their ideals, for what they promised to their constituents whether you agree with them or not, they still try to get some of that stuff through, but it comes with all of the compromises from the special interests. So things become bloated and way off course just to get one small thing done. They're actually changing entire systems around that small thing that actually undermine the small thing that they're trying to get done. And this is something that if you go back and you look at the late 90s, early 2000s Democrats that have completely gone against everything that they preach today, whether it be from immigration to taxes to crime to drugs to anything, right? They were basically where Trump is, right? When it comes to I'll just use illegal immigration. Go look at Chuck Schumer and illegal immigration. Go look at when Hillary Clinton was a congresswoman, right? And you can look even when she was Secretary of State. They all held the ideals that Trump preaches. But why did they change? They didn't change because they actually changed their ideals. They changed because they wouldn't be able to do anything. They would not be able to function or raise to go back to Congress without all of these compromises with the way things have changed. And I think Chuck Schumer is a perfect example. And everybody's like, well, they're hypocrites and they're pieces of shit and this and that. No, what you have to understand is they've been consumed by the beast that is Washington, D.C. And it is very, very, it's got to be cleaned. And I don't know how you clean it. I don't know how you get rid of it. I don't know how you get rid of the rot without having Congress vote against their own interests, vote for term limits. And then it becomes, then you're shifting all of that money from the established politicians that have been up there just being pushed on the American people through the primaries and through election to the next generation where they're just going to go out and farm new people every single cycle and pay them off, right? So how do you solve that problem? And what kind of framework do you put in to solve these problems? Because term limits doesn't actually do it, because the special interest will just find new people to prop up in the different districts that are going to do what they want them to do, because money is what makes the world go round in Washington, D.C. So how do you actually solve that problem? It's a massive problem. But you want to know something? Whether Democrat or Republican, the United States is still the best damn country in the world. Still the best damn country.
There you go.
Even with all the flaws.
There you go. Welcome to the show. It's not the breakdown, even though the overlay might say the breakdown. It's not the breakdown episode 700. That's coming tomorrow. Okay. That's tomorrow. That's not today. That's tomorrow. Everybody's like, what the fuck does that mean? But we've talked about I think we touched on a lot of things today. Landy, by the way, Monday. It is Monday, April 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Landy with the market recap or update, excuse me, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just breaking all this down for you. Okay. And we'll go talk about that tomorrow when we bring Landy on. We'll talk about we'll break down the markets. We'll go into the markets. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about, if you guys want to talk about something, by the way, TikTok, if you guys want to talk about something, let me know what you want to talk about. And I'll hand it off to Landy. Tell me if you want to talk about, I don't know, Hedera. I'm just naming shit at this point. Whatever you guys want to talk about, let us know. We'll go ahead. We'll break it down.
Funny, I actually have a lot of friends in Hedera that are building stuff over there.
Me too. I'm actually in a group with a bunch of Chads that put me on to Hedera when it first came out, and they're really cool cats.
They are actually, like, the Hedera ecosystem. For those that don't know, I mean, look, you might not be impressed with the returns.
I'm not impressed with the centralization, but
or the centralization aspect, but in terms of builders over there and some of the most legit, like, high level, especially for me, nerds, some of the coolest people I've met in crypto are over there.
They're really cool, and to learn the Hedera ecosystem, it takes about 12 weeks to just get your footing. I always joke around about that because there's nobody out there really just explaining it, unless you.
I gotta stop reading chat. I looked down, and the first thing I see is very interested in the tea prices, specifically in China. Oh God, Cheddar.
Well, we'll have me and Landy will chop it up then, and we'll talk about it, and that's it. Tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow Landy at Crypto Landy. That's on Twitter. On TikTok, you can follow him on landy.btc. And Landy, it was great chatting with you today. Started with wrestling, went all around the world.
Yeah, we went all around the world. We had drones, we had gimbals to start the show. I mean, we
got to talk about gold and silver, apparently.
Oh, I mean, I could talk about gold and silver, but what I will say is, if you watched Friday's video, exactly what I was talking about played out over the weekend into the early session today.
He said, watch Sunday. Watch Sunday.
And I was right. I mean, look, it's not hard to be right if you're keeping track of markets and you understand what's going on. So, but yeah, I do appreciate.
Let's not take that away from you. Look, I'll blow some smoke up your ass. I'm no Diddy, by the way. Landy's good at what he does. Landy is good at what he does. I appreciate you coming on, and
appreciate you, David.
Fuck off. But no, we might be in a conference. We might have a conference call today. I don't know.
Maybe I'll be around.
I'll touch base with you probably in a half an hour. But go do your thing. You're all over spaces. Go for it, space boy.
I'll be out there in outer space.
Yeah. That's Landy, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, you can catch Landy. He's breaking down everything. Like he goes into every chat. It could be about space. It could, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, all types of shit. Anyway, welcome to welcome to the show. Okay, it's not the breakdown today. It's not the breakdown. Okay, but this show is sponsored by Midnight. The show is also sponsored by Polymarket, Cake Wallet, and the People's Reserve. We will be right back after this commercial break. I'm going to break a few things down. Again, I'm going to give you the cliff notes of what happened today, why it's not episode 700. I'm going to explain. Now, actually, I won't explain. I'll explain it on the 700 show. Okay, 700. That's what I'll explain it on. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was a promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back to the show. That's what we're calling it. Welcome back to the show. The breakup. Welcome back to the breakout, the breakup. I'm here. I don't know. I love Mondays. I really do love Mondays. People hate Mondays. I love Mondays. Mondays are great. You should be well rested after the weekend. If you go out, if you work out, if you go out and you work out, man, y'all should have heard me freestyle when I was younger, man. Ridiculous. You should have heard me freestyle on Clubhouse. You should have heard me freestyle when Spaces first came out. Over the weekend, like I said, by the way, Donald Trump went ahead and deleted the post of him as a doctor, which everybody assumed he put it out there as if he is Jesus. He took it down. Unlike Trump, because Trump really doesn't ever take things down, but he took it down. And now they're going to say, oh my God, but he took it down. He's not going to be he should have just left it up there because he's not going to win. They're going to still say, oh my God, look what he did. Look what he did. The Justin Sun versus World Liberty Finance. I found that funny. I don't know. I'm going to repeat it again. If you didn't tune in to the beginning of the show, that's what we talked about a lot of stuff. I'm just recapping quickly. If I'm World Liberty Finance, number one, I'm getting a PR person. The first thing you should do is put out an advertisement, an ad, stating that you are looking for somebody to do PR, because the response back to Justin, and Justin used ChatGPT for his response, to have somebody just respond back as if they're on their personal account. Honestly, you got a lot of people that have gone into World Liberty Finance because they believe it's a professional company. You got to go ahead and bring somebody professional in. Also, for the community of World Liberty Finance, just break it down, man. Like, people do have questions, break it down. Like, if it's a nothing burger, I'm not saying come out there every day and address things, but time has gone by where you can come out and just address these things that people are putting out there and put it to bed. That's it. And if the people don't like the response, it is what it is. They can make a choice. They can leave or they can invest more. I don't know. Like for me personally, if I was a part of the organization, I'd say, guys, like somebody has to go out there and just talk to the people or put out a video, 20 to 30 minutes of breaking down the entire program. Showcase that the shit that people are putting out there is bullshit and show them why. That's it. It's very simple. It is absolutely simple. Do you owe anybody an answer? No, like when people criticize the new Apple products and they email or they send feedback back to Apple, Tim Cook doesn't have to come out there and start talking to the goddamn public. He doesn't. But you're in a different industry. Like I said, it is decentralized. It is more transparent than the centralized world that you come from. So the best thing would be hire somebody from crypto who's really good at PR and comms. Let them come out there and just fucking talk about it. And if people, again, don't like the response, they'll make a decision. They will make a decision. That's the way I would approach it. That's it. Put it to bed. Put it to bed. Somebody said good press, any press is good. It is. Bad press, good press, it's good. But at the end of the day, when you have a project like this and you really want to be numero uno, because again, I'm hoping, or people are hoping, that this project, World Liberty Finance, is around for decades, not just around for, Trump's presidency. Come out there, nail it in the butt. Nail it in the butt. At least every single serious project that I know within the crypto space, if there's anything that's going on and needs answers, they have people that come out and they say, hey, this is what happened. And you can accept it or not. That's the bottom line. You can accept it or you don't have to. Polkadot, they got hacked. They came out with a statement immediately addressing the situation. That's it. It's simple. You address it and you move on. And if they don't like the response, that's on them. You might say you don't owe anybody a response. Well, technically you do when you have people going into your platform. It's the people in your platform that want to know, hey, are we okay here? That's really what people want to know. Like, hey, I went into this project. Am I okay? Like, I know nothing's guaranteed, but are you guys working and building towards the long term? Or are we here just for, a quick minute? That's it. That's it. That's the approach. That is really the approach. Really is the approach to take on. I didn't have episode 700 because everything wasn't done correctly. And 700 is a huge milestone. 700 episodes is a huge thing. Even though that's the official number and the unofficial number is in the thousands, 700 is a big thing. I've worked my ass off for many years to be here, reporting on crypto when it wasn't popular. Now it's popular. Talking about politics. Well, politics has always been popular. But talking about politics on X where it's not popular, during the time where Jack Dorsey and company really, you had liberals, a bunch of liberals running Twitter at the time. And it was, you know what? I think the reason why I kind of got away with it is because I ran for office and I'm talking about these topics. So I was allowed, I guess, to go ahead and touch on these things because you can't take somebody down, right? Because the people that could potentially be looking to vote for me, they want to hear from me. So you can't really right? And I'm not crossing the line. I'm just talking about subjects that people want. I guess that's what that might have saved me during the time where Jack and company were around, and they were just suspending anybody that had a difference of opinion. Kind of like TikTok. When I come onto TikTok and I live stream a video from the White House, live from the White House, like everybody else, and I get suspended for 3 days on TikTok for live streaming what Trump said. Not what I said, what Trump said, live, just like every other channel. Which is it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Yes, there you go. Episode 699 and a half. There you go. JD Vance going over to Pakistan and talking with some of the Iranian officials. Obviously didn't work out, but it seems like Iran wants to talk. And they're might be willing to give up their nuclear program in order to make a deal. So we'll see what happens. The wild card is Israel, man. The wild card is Israel. I hope that Trump has told Bibi, do not dare fire missiles into Iran. I do hope that he's told that to Bibi. Really hope so. S&W says, DG, the best show on TikTok. That's without a doubt. Listen, of course, I love Twitter. I really do. That I've built my brand on Twitter. The people have supported me on Twitter. I appreciate everybody. But like I said before, this happened like 2 years ago. I said, I have to branch out. I just can't be on Twitter where one day the algorithm is working in my favor and the next day the algorithm isn't. It can't be that way. I have people tell me that they don't see my tweets. They don't see my tweets even though they have my notifications on, and they might see them like 12 hours later. That's unacceptable. Like that's not cool. If somebody has your notifications on, they should be able to see your stuff instantly. If you want to, you know what? Why am I bitching? It is what it is. That's why I've pivoted completely on all channels now. I'm on all channels. And yeah, I think I'm closer with TikTok now. I'm a bit closer with TikTok. I'm going to probably be closer with Instagram. I posted, myself after a workout. People freaked out in a good way. So that's it, man. At the end of the day, you got to pivot, man. You got to pivot, man. I got a brand to run. I got brands, not just even a brand. I got brands to run. I can't be playing this game of like, oh my God, one day it's good, the next day it's bad, and then I don't want to pivot, and I don't want to rage bait, and like I don't want to take a hammer to my face like that kid Vicular. Is that his name? Whatever his fucking name is. I don't want to take a fucking hammer to my face and break my jaw or whatever they're doing. I don't need to do that. I was born extremely and ridiculously handsome. I don't need to go ahead and break my face. And Warren, I love Twitter. Twitter is amazing. I just wish that they weren't breaking Twitter and trying to make it better when they could have. The Twitter was already good. You could just add on to it. Y'all already heard my conversation. Web3 Glossary wants me to say it is 2:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. And you joined the show. And the show today is called The Breakout. It's not the breakdown, it's the breakout. No, that sounds like your face broke out or some shit. It was funny to watch. I guess because on Friday I said that like get ready because I am going to take over TikTok. that a lot of people got butthurt and a lot of people sent people messages. And then right on cue, this is what I wrote to Landy, and Landy saw it and we were laughing. Right on cue, today, we get people that pop in and all of a sudden, never mind. You know what? I'm not even, if you know, you know. That's all. Right on cue, everything happens. And I just sat back and I smiled. I actually smiled. Inside, I smiled. I thought it was cute. But that's like an old school tactic used on Twitter. Like, it's like, okay, big deal. Seriously, I laughed on that one. Oh my God. Anyway. I was memeing. I was on, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I was absolutely obnoxious this weekend. I was tweeting just like, I was just memeing. I just felt like memeing. Forget about memes, meme tokens. I was just memeing because I wanted to meme. Just wanted to fucking meme. Maybe tomorrow or this week, I'll show you the memes that I was putting out there. And that's right. There's no crying. Somebody just said, Ben Billion said, there's no crying in the casino. There is no crying in the casino. We know what we signed up for in crypto. I win a lot, but sometimes I lose. And you know what? I don't bitch. I don't bitch at anybody. I don't cry. I don't come on the timeline. I don't do any of that stuff. When you go to the casino, right? Like, I have gone to Atlantic City like maybe twice in my life, okay? And I've gambled, okay? I've gone there, but I didn't gamble with hardcore money. Like, I was just like, I went to the blackjack table. I like blackjack. I sat at the blackjack table. Let me just say, the women there, they purposely hire good-looking women, right? They hire good-looking ass women. I had these good-looking women that come up to me, and they're trying to get me drunk. They work there. They're the waitresses. They come up there, and they're trying to get you drunk. Okay, they're handing you beer. They're asking you if you want tequila. Okay, like what's your boom? Like they are trying to get you so fucked up. Then now you're looking at the table like, yeah, like let me go ahead and let me push my money in this bitch. The problem is I'm not a drinker, man. I don't drink. I'm gonna tell you why I don't drink. Because I like to be in control of the situation. I don't mind being the designated driver. I don't need alcohol to go ahead and make me have a good time, okay? I'm naturally high off life. I don't need none of this shit. I don't need to put those toxic chemicals inside of me. You imagine if I was a drinker, how old I would look right now on this show? I don't need none of that stuff. I'm funny as it is. I don't need a drink to make me funny. I don't need a drink to make me more talkative. Yeah, a lot of people say that's a deal breaker, that somebody with Russian DNA or European DNA is not a drinker. Russians, when you sit down at a table with Russians, they want to see you drink. Now, if you don't drink, they think that something's up. Russians think if you sit at a table with Russians and you don't take a shot of vodka, it might not end well. They might think you're a spy. I'm serious. I'm dead serious, man. Bobo. I want to mention Bobo. You know why? Because I've been holding Bobo for fucking God knows how long. Bobo's doing the migration to Solana on the 20th, April 20th. Bobo's doing the migration to Solana. So if you're holding Bobo right now, if you're holding 1%, if you're holding 0.5%, you're getting the same thing on Solana. The total market cap is 1 billion. So it's less market cap, and for the Bobo cats, it's the more ability for them to go ahead and do things. So a lot more ability for Rec to go ahead and do some cool stuff with Bobo. Now, the reason why I'm watching Bobo is because if Bobo goes up, that potentially means that we can return to the memes. We can see Apu go, we can see Pepe go, we can see a bunch of things. Like the real memes, we can see them go. So that's why I'm watching Bobo closely. This is an OG meme headed by an individual that has been posting about Bobo longer than its time tokenized on the chain. That's it. So I'm watching carefully. I'm watching carefully. Somebody said, Bullish said, Albanians are the worst. I worked for them for 10 years and I had the best time of my life. Albanians, I know plenty of them. Grew up in Brooklyn. Know plenty of Albanians. They are absolutely nuts. Shout out to the Albanians. I'm not telling you to buy anything. On this show, I will never tell you to buy anything. I think the only time that I ever say buy anything is like buy Bitcoin, because I think it's crazy not to have any sort of ownership in Bitcoin, but that's on you. You do as you wish. You do as you see fit. For me personally, man, and I love the memes, man. I really do love the memes. This is where me and the Bitcoin maxis, we just don't see eye to eye. I am a memer. I like memes. I can express myself with memes. When I don't, or I can't, or I don't want to have a conversation, or I don't want to type out words, I can just take a meme and express to you how I'm feeling that day. That's really it. That's really it. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, I don't listen. I don't drink. I don't drink. Okay, I mean, I've gone to sushi and I can take some sake shots. Okay, anybody like sake? Relax. I don't know where your brains are. Some of you guys have never gone to sushi, so you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. For those who have gone to sushi, sake, I'll go ahead and take some of those shots. But those things, sake isn't really a drink, though. It just makes you feel all right. It makes you laid back and say, what is it? It's wine. It's really wine and shit, right? That's all it is. Just chilling. And I hate wine, by the way. I don't like anything alcoholic, bro. I really don't. I really don't. I gotta create that, Fran. I gotta create that. I will get to. I created it on TikTok. I'd rather have it on TikTok than on Telegram, but whatever. I don't give a fuck at this point. It is 2:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You've tuned into the show today. It's not the breakdown, even though it says the breakdown. We just didn't have time to polish it up. You just joined me today. Episode 700 is coming tomorrow. Okay? It was supposed to be today, but you know what? It's my fault. It's not even the editor's fault. It's my fault. I was laying out, enjoying the weekend. Okay? I was just enjoying the weekend. I enjoyed the weekend. I was laying out. For the first time, I said, fuck work. And I'm going to lay out and I'm going to enjoy the weekend. The sun beaming on me taking a drone and almost flying it into the first 2 minutes, almost flying it into a tree. Goddamn. Oh, breaking news. Kraken says it's being extorted by a criminal group threatening to release videos showing client data, adding its systems were never breached. So that's what's happening right now. The Gakshi News Department is reporting oil prices searches on Google have hit an all-time high. By the way, Michael Saylor, I didn't even mention this while Landy was here. I didn't even mention this. Saylor went ahead and bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. What are you doing? What are you doing with your lies? Saylor has bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. $1 billion. What I want you to take away from this is he doesn't care about entry points. That's why, by the way, and this goes for the memes, this is why the meme economy is having a problem, because everybody, as soon as they see that the shit hit 1 million or 2, they don't want to go in. That's it. Well, I'm not going in. It's at 2 million. I usually get in at 20K. That's the problem. We used to go in at any fucking price. My average was like 5 million, 10 million. We need to be like Saylor out in this motherfucker. Really? We really need to be like Saylor, bro. We need to be like Saylor. I'm telling you. We need to be like Saylor, man. No crying in the casino, man. No crying in the casino. Stop crying. Stop crying. Anyway, let's go to the quote of the day. Iranian women are beautiful. They are. I mean, Middle Eastern women are really good looking. European women are really good looking. European women, you know what it is? European women, Middle Eastern women, they got style, man. They got style. Especially Europeans, they got style, man. They got a lot of style. For real, man. By the way, I was looking, for some reason I got Japan TikTok, not Japan TikTok, Japan Twitter on my feed lately. And I'm looking at videos of Japan and I'm like, this shit is so clean. Japan is, I've always, like, one day I will go to Japan because it's extremely clean. The only reason that I would ever stop myself from going to Japan is earthquakes, tsunamis, and then they had a volcano that fucking busted open yesterday. So, I don't know. My luck, all three would happen at the same time. Let's go. By the way, Marco Rubio, seen him at UFC. He threw up the gang sign. I always knew my brother was down. I always knew he was down with the streets. I always knew Rubio was down. He's always been a part of the streets, man. Always. What? My boy, he threw it up. He threw it up right here. Hold on. There it goes. Look, he threw up the 305. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. My boy threw it up right there. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, this went viral. This picture went viral. I used it. This picture went viral. You can see it. God damn it, you can't see it. But Sabrina Carpenter went viral because she said, I don't like it. And that's how I feel. I make that face when I get phone calls. And like, I don't know how to, like, I make that face. I do make that face a lot, man. I got that resting bitch face. All right, anyway, let's go to the quote of the day. Quote of the day, let's look for. I like this one when I read it today. Quote of the day. By the way, shout out to TikTok for showing up today. Shout out to Twitter. Shout out to everybody showing up. Getter the Getter account is growing, and I haven't really pushed it either. So shout out to Getter as well. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready, guys? Cool. Here's the quote of the day. There are graveyards full of people who thought they had more time. I saw that today. And again, the quote is, there are graveyards full of people who thought they had more time. And I was like, man, that is such a real quote. Everybody thinks they have all this time in the world, but it's really not there. I mean, like, live every single day to the fullest. You make all this money, right? Everybody's making all this money. Just fucking go enjoy yourself. Stop like, at some point you got to stop chasing. At some point you have to have some sort of game plan, and you also have to treat yourself, and you have to live. Go enjoy yourself. Live. You know, you go to a nursing home and you ask the individuals there their biggest regret, and it always comes back to, I wish I had more time. Or I wish I would have done certain things. And that, a lot of people don't listen. That's a big problem, where you don't listen to experience. Like, people, when you're growing up, like, you think you know it all, and yet somebody who's, 20 years older than you is telling you, hey, like, these are the mistakes I've made, learn from them. You're like, I won't make the same mistake. Time is everything. Time is something you'll never get back. Crypto is here 24/7. Listen, if you miss something while you go out and you lay out for 3-4 hours, there's always something that's coming next. Like, with crypto, there's always something at this point that comes next. Like, go out, have fun. Have fun. Go talk to somebody. Have a conversation. Sit down, have a conversation. Go out. Treat yourself. Get yourself some new clothing. You've been rocking the same thing for fucking 20 years. It's tight on you, bro, or it's ripped. Go. Go to a speed dating class or session. I don't know. Do something. Hug a tree. Plant one. I don't know. Do something productive. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate you, motherfuckers. Every single one of you guys. I love you. Shout out to the sponsors. The main title sponsor of the breakdown in general is Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. Shout out to everything they're doing for privacy. Privacy is huge. Looking to get somebody from Midnight on here so we can go ahead and talk about Midnight, break it down for those who are interested, those who are in, those who are thinking about it, those who are interested in privacy. We'll go ahead and we'll chop it up with somebody from there. Polymarket. Shout out to Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand. Also, if you want to get in contact with me, davidgokhshtein.com. Go right on there. We're doing some updates on the site. They should be up there within a day or two. I might be doing some really cool things. So stay tuned to davidgokhshtein.com. By the way, I need to say this. Real quick. So there's an influencer, a political influencer, and let me give a shout out to Cake Wallet also and People's Reserve. There's an influencer on X, and you guys might know him. I don't know if he does things on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram. I don't know. All I know is that I personally see him on Twitter. And his name is Dom. And he has a website where he's very transparent. And he's like, listen, I charge people for posting stuff. So there's things where he charges people $5,000 or $10,000 to post or retweet stuff that people put out there. People, like, all of a sudden, like, had a problem with this. For me, I'm sitting back and saying, I don't have any problem with somebody making money on their brand. If this man sees fit that this person and their posting and their conversations fit with my brand, then I'll take $15,000 from them and post it and put a paid promotion. I don't have a problem with this. I don't know why people have a problem with capitalism. If a person is putting it out there that it's a paid promotion and they're putting it out there and they have, I don't know, a menu stating that they do these sort of services, it is what it is. I don't get it. You're working like anybody who's an influencer or building a brand, you're working your ass off to hopefully catch one of these deals, like have somebody sponsor you and, push out content, paid or not, whatever it is. It's just like the whole concept is like you need to generate revenue on your brand. So I don't see anything bad about it. I don't see anything bad about it. But he got destroyed for it because he's posting things. He's posting things where, or I should say, his website says that and he's transparent though. Like he's put it out there. Here, I'm charging. He's saying he's charging 15 grand or 10 grand or 3 grand, whatever it is, to go ahead and showcase your posting or your news or information, whatever. They do this in the real world. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just dumb. I think it's dumb to go ahead and get on people for that. Anyway, on that note, I appreciate you guys. I've been fucking yapping away. I appreciate you guys. Crypto, let's make a big comeback, man. Crypto, let's make a big comeback. I have a feeling the Clarity Act passes, even though I don't like it. It is what it is. The Clarity Act passes. They're going to pass some other bills. They're going to make crypto great. And I think crypto will see a lot of liquidity injected into it. We might have a great summer. We might even have a better fall. So I think this is the time where you look at the markets and you take advantage of it. And I will keep on saying that. I think this is the time you really look at the market and take advantage of it. And on that note, I'm out.